This is more the kind of Pueblo leather that I was expecting with this one here. There's a lot more striation, if you notice here, than pictured on their website. But I've seen some patina matured Pueblo leather and they became quite smooth and shiny. Not unlike these ones, but these ones are a little bit more prone to scratches. And I think the brushing of the leather here makes it less prone to scratches. So this is the Pueblo leather with the old brass plating. I believe they've discontinued the brass plate. This is solid brass covered, plated in gold color that will slowly wear off into normal brass, such as so this brass like that. I mean, this brass is really sturdy. The only reason why it's in there is not to protect the brass, but is actually to protect the pens around it, so that it doesn't get destroyed by the brass. But you could see, I mean, brass is it looks really rustic. It's not looking very flashy at all. So I've done this before now. Put this in here. We'll put this. So that's the paperwork. I think there's a lot of instruction here that if you are used to leather wear, it's pretty common sense. It's pretty normal, like for example, not to force the thickness here. Like a lot of people stuffed the Hobonichi to look really bulky, and it broke the spine and it has this really nice worn look, but this will not withstand it. You could see this one here, the leather has been scraped there to a thinner thickness. If you see that it's thick and then it's thinner. Again, I'm sorry for my really dry hands. I don't put on moisturizers before I touch these things so that I don't leave marks. And so this lays flat, which is good. I'm running to an appointment soon, so I'm going to do this real quick. I don't like the smell of leather. The smell of plastic. These plastics create some real mixed feelings in me. They remind me of my childhood in the 70s when Japan was still exporting those plastic toys. But at the same time, it reminds me how much plastic there is here. And then we have the note. So thankfully, I have the plain note. It seems like the Bible size is very popular. I think I mentioned that in my other video. I'm going to put the whole lot. Is it too thick? How many pages? Because you're not supposed to put in more than 80 pages. Which is fair enough. So I'll put this in for now. This might be more than 80 pages, you think? I don't know. That's pretty, yeah, pretty. It's pretty tight. And then there's the project managers. So that's basically folders that you put various. I'll come this later because as I mentioned, this is going to be a notebook with various different ideas and different folders. That's the plan. So I'll put the folder aside until the idea is developed. And once there are segments of ideas noted down, I'll put them in different project managers. So I'll put this aside for now. I can't predetermine the amount of paper required for each topic because it depends on what my brain developed at any given moment. And so this is the pen. In this case, because there isn't going to be any front, I don't think I'll be flipping this back and forth. So I will put... that's the one issue with these things. So I think the other thing that's lacking right now is the strap that's coming from another shop in Japan on Etsy, because this is from Yoseka Stationery. So that strap is definitely going to sit at the back. These ones, I am not sure. For now, I'm going to put this in the back here. Oh, I don't need this, so I'll take this out. I'll take that out and I'll put that in. So pushing this like this is actually really painful, because pushing it down to open is one thing, it's smooth. But pushing this way, let me show you. That's really, that's quite sharp. So pushing it this way is actually quite painful. So I think the only less painful thing to do is to do it like this. But it means that you have to be very careful, because this is so full. I caught, you know, my fingers was caught. So I guess do it that way instead of that way. So for now, it's gonna look like so. And I'll need the strap incoming, and I think there's something else. I can't remember what it is. But the pen here, I don't really need this front actually. And actually I don't need this whole thing, but you know, I'll leave it there. And so for example, we'll put this pen here. Okay, that pen here, this rubber is really difficult to put through. Is this leather? I'm not sure. Is this leather? I don't know. So let's use this pen here for now as a model. So you do that. Yeah, it's very snug. It's very snug. That's a Lamy, and that's perfect. That's a notebook. So for years and years and years, I've put ideas on notebooks and I can't trace them back, because I just basically brain dump and then I have to pull them apart. I can't trace them back. I have to go through everything, and they're scattered in multiple different notebooks, and it's have been driving me absolutely up the wall for the past few years. I really wanted a Filofax system, but the Filofax is just too bulky. The only Filofax I have is one by Brown Buffalo, or Brown Buffel. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's in German. I think it means Brown Buffalo. That was the only Filofax I have. The style of Filofax is not for me. The aesthetic, the hand feel, everything, and is really bulky. In the late 90s to early 2000s, that's probably was fine. By the early 2000s, it was too bulky for me, and so it was only, I think I bought it in 96. I still remember that date because I was on my way to the airport to fly back to New Zealand, and then I stopped using it by the time I was in New York in 2002. So about 5 years. It's just too bulky. This is the first time I finally, after 25 years, I finally found a kind of notebook that I really desperately need, in a format, in an aesthetic quality, in a system that I really like. If this plotter memos become too much to maintain, and then I might just buy from a standard A5 refill. What I am extremely grateful for Plotter is not to make the refill proprietary to them, that you don't have to go back to them for the refill. You just buy the setup costs and the accessories. And even accessories, I think any A5 accessories for ring binder, because they do not create their own. If that's the case, I would not have adopted it. I resent the idea that I'm stuck with one provider for everything, because I'm in New Zealand and everything is so expensive getting them over. The shipping is astronomical. The exchange rate is not very good. And so being able to find alternative cheap ones is something I really, really appreciate. And the quality is something else I really appreciate. And I feel quite saddened that they have to, I'm assuming, reduce cost by changing this to chrome in 2024. So something like this. I think somebody asked if the ring binder is by such and such. I can't remember, because apparently they're top notch for rings, providing these rings a mechanism. And yes, it is by those guys. I'll put that name down somewhere. Again, I'm sorry for my dry hand. I don't want to leave marks all over my stationery, so I tend not to moisturize my hand before I touch these. So I'm really, really excited over finally being able to have a notebook that I could finally fulfill my needs. Now, the only question is whether I actually need this. So if it becomes too bulky, this may have to be sacrificed and the project manager is going to go in. For the moment, it seems okay. I often have pieces of papers like always, and so it's good to have it somewhere that I won't lose, that it won't slip in or out. So I'll be waiting for the strap and I think a couple of other things. Oh, I have this also. Better rush to my appointment. I think because shipping is so expensive, I tend to get a bit anxious about what else I need to get rather than having to pay another $40 to $50 in shipping cost. Is this leather? This feels like suede. I don't know. Is this leather? I'm smelling it. Maybe not. What does it say? What does it say? Organizer. Yeah, it doesn't say. I'll have a look. I'll have a look at the spec. If this is leather, this is suede, but I don't know. This is a lot thinner than I thought. From the photo, it seems thicker, but it makes sense because you don't want anything too thick because it will add to the bulk. So this is supposed to fill in here for you to carry it. So even if I don't have the strap, and I'm not likely, the problem with the strap, just like with the traveler's notebook, is that unless you go in and out of it a lot, it creates a dent on the leather itself. Like here you see it's already waving because I put the strap on here and left it for days because I haven't started using it. So this is so it's like that. Okay, so this could potentially function in replacement of the strap, and so the pen goes there. And apparently there's a pocket here that you could put your phone in or something. So something like that. Yeah, so you either throw this in your backpack or you carry it around like this. So that's pretty nifty. I'm quite happy with that. If someone can tell me if this is leather. I mean, even if it's not, you really can't tell these days. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't smell or feel like it, but I'll go and check. Right, that's it. Bye.